All right, everybody, welcome to New York's #2 sports show. I'm producer Casey here with Derek. We're recording this Thursday night right after the Giants shocked the world. This is why we play these games, people. This is why the NFL is one of the best products out there, because you really, truly never know what's going to happen. And, you know, the Giants showed up 34-17, really just kind of taking care of business against this Eagles team that, suffered their first loss last week against Denver. You figure that they were going to bounce back in a good way here, especially against the Giants team that was 1-4 before this game started. But here we are. So Derek, I mean, how do we feel, man? 2-4. You know, Jackson Dart looking kind of sharp. You got a stud running back here. I mean, what's going on, man? Fresh thoughts right after the game.
Yeah. So look, first things first. Really impressive win. Right. And for the Eagles, it's one of those things where my initial thought, like you were saying, Casey, coming off the Denver loss, it's going to be guns a-blazing. They're going to just run roughshod all over the Giants, on Thursday Night Football. But then I'm thinking, as this game's moving on, it's like, wait a minute, maybe this ends up being a situation. And there's a lot of season to go. And obviously we'll talk more Giants, but with the Eagles, it's like, could it be a little bit of a mini version of what we saw a couple of years ago, where once the losing begins, it's like a total slide that they can't really make up from? Now, again, this is a team that should definitely make the playoffs, likely win the NFC East. But, hey, there is some turmoil as far as A.J. Brown and things like that. And Sirianni, you just never know. So, yeah. But the Giants just kicked their ass, man.
Yeah.
Also, tough night for if you're a Philly sports fan, with the Phillies going down the way they did in the Eagles. That is a brutal night.
That was, extra innings too, man. That was pretty rough. I mean, they kind of suffered the same fate as the Yankees with winning Game 3 and then kind of just folding over Game 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Giants, really impressive that they won. It's fucking annoying that they lost to the Saints last week. It's just, for me, I can never quite. It's never as satisfying as you'd want it to be, but I'm going to try to put that aside here. Because look, genuinely speaking, I'm not so much I like some of the factors of the win, right? Yeah. And just that the rookies, really produce in a big way. To do it against the Eagles, a fucking rare primetime win at MetLife Stadium. We don't normally see that ever.
Right? Yeah.
And who in their right mind would have thought the Giants would have won this game? I mean, with no Malik Neighbors, no Darius Slayton. And the second half was all Giants.
Yeah. I mean, if they were going to win, you would think it would be something low scoring, right? 14-10, and the defense shows up, not 34-17, right? That's the craziness.
Right. When did the Giants ever put up 30 points? Right. Over the last 5+ years, it just doesn't really happen. So, when you take a step back and look at it that way, it's impressive. Obviously against a very talented Eagle team. Now, look, no Jalen Carter for the Eagles. That's a big loss for sure. Yep. And then another one of their guys got hurt. Quinyon Mitchell, I hurt a hamstring, and so he was out for most of the game. So, but hey, let's just talk, some stats here a little bit.
Go for it.
Third downs was totally lopsided. The Giants went 11 for 16 on third downs, while the Eagles were 1 for 9.
Wow.
If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what does. And then think about this from a rushing perspective, with Saquon Barkley, right, who has not been the same Saquon Barkley as last year. The Giants outrushed the Eagles 172-73. Crazy, yeah. Right? With this Eagle rushing it, you would have thought that'd be reversed.
Exactly.
Right? And the Giants win the turnover battle. And when you do that, that's going to give you a chance to win. Unfortunately, Casey, with the Jets, you kind of know all too well.
Right. We don't know what a turnover is on the Jets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Cordell Flock gets a big interception, and that kind of sealed it up, right? And to me, where at that point it's a 10-point game, Eagles driving in the red zone, and Flock gets that pick. And then later on, and at this point, the game was kind of over anyway, where A.J. Dillon gets that fumble,
Right.
fumbles it. A nice play by Dane Belton to kind of just punch it out. And that's a winning that's stuff that the Giants you don't normally see. You usually see it against them.
Right.
So that was really good. But hey, Jackson Dart, not only does he get up to a good start, because we've seen that lately, but he really did well throughout the game. 17 for 25, 195 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Only took 2 sacks, it looks like. And really looking at this, only for 1 yard too, so nothing significant there. Giants offensive line held up.
Yeah.
And Dart as well, 58 rushing yards. Rushing touchdown as well. Cam Skattebo, unbelievable. 98 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He's really tough to take down. And he has totally taken over that lead role, right? Like
absolutely.
Tyrone Tracy gets hurt. And even before he got hurt, Skattebo was showing promise. But yeah, like he brings a different attitude to this Giant team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Skattebo.
The rookie swagger is definitely apparent on your team, man. And yeah, it's encouraging stuff. Stuff to be happy about for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Wan'Dale Robinson made a pretty big impact early on. 6 catches, 84 yards for a touchdown. Little Jordan Humphrey, former Bronco. It's fucking crazy how he was not elevated from the practice squad last week. Now this week, by total necessity, the fact that Slayton was out this week, they had to do it. But the fact that last week against the Saints he wasn't, is just about practice. Like they were throwing out Bo Collins as part of their, as part of the crew. Now, again, I know Slayton got hurt mid-game, but it's just some of those things. It makes it frustrating in hindsight when you knew, like, I'm not saying little Jordan Humphrey's an amazing player, but like this is a guy, look, he got some separation, made some plays, had a 34-yard catch. He had the most targets on the team.
Wow.
But hey, the Giants, like the rushing attack was really good. The defense played well. I guess just to look at some of the scoring real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles take an early lead. 3-0. It actually looked at the start like it was going to be a problem where Jamie Gillen has he doesn't kick it in the landing zone. So the Eagles get the good field position, and Saquon had at least 1 or 2 nice runs, but only a field for the Eagles. But then you get a Jackson Dart 20-yard touchdown run, a Wan'Dale Robinson 35-yard touchdown run, and then it's almost reminiscent to last week where that was a 14-3 game. This was 13-3 because Jude McAtamney misses the extra point, and then the Eagles start to roll a bit. Dallas Goedert, who had a really good game, had a 3-yard touchdown reception, and then the fucking tush push where it's such a lame part of, I think everyone, this is not even just me talking as an anti-Eagle person. It's such a lame part of the game that the Eagles take advantage of. They're the only ones that are able to do it effectively, and it ends up in a Jalen Hurts 1-yard touchdown run to give the Eagles a 17-13 lead.
Yeah, it's the tush push. It's crazy. I was going to bring it up too because later on in the game there was a play cycle where they ran it 4 times in a row.
That was it.
So that was it. Excuse me. So
was it.
Yeah, just like in terms of like you just said, as someone that is just watching it as a fan of the NFL, it's not a really good look. And if you're the Eagles too, it's like, you're only shooting yourselves in the foot in terms of getting this play canceled for next year, right? By running it 4 straight plays on prime time. Not a good look. And, it's really ugly. It's unfortunate because I do want to give them credit because like you said, they're the only ones that seem to run it successfully. So there is something to admire about that, but I don't know. There's something's going to have to change next year. I don't think the NFL is going to want to see them do something like that again.
You wouldn't think. And you know what? Part of the problem too is, Casey, is not only is it just the play itself, and I know maybe it's just the slow-mo replay, but like the offensive linemen, look like they're jumping early as well.
The second or the third tush push in that 4-play cycle, I think Al and them they caught it. They caught the couple of the linemen jumping. So it's
and
sloppy. Yeah, exactly. It's a shit show.
It's a bad look. Yeah. It's a really bad look.
Yeah.
And while again, like they're the only ones that do it well, and that should be there's credit there, but it's just I hope that they outlaw it.
Yeah,
next
something's
year.
Gonna have to change for sure.
Yeah, but hey, Giants overcome it and really have a nice bounce back. I think it was the next drive.
I believe so as well. Yeah, there was a pretty big statement drive from what I recall.
It was
Yeah.
a 15-play, 67-yard drive, resulting in a Cam Skattebo
Number 2.
4-yard touchdown to make it 20-17. Really impressive.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, because that's usually the shitty teams, right? I mean, that's when you would fold over and lose.
Exactly.
So yeah, big statement, man. Yeah,
exactly. And the Eagles burn all their timeouts on that drive, so it made it tough for them to do anything at the end of the half. They tried, but then Hurts, they kind of messed it up where Hurts, it was a 4th down, so he couldn't spike it, and the time runs out on them.
Yeah.
So the Giants have a 20-17.
Do you mind me let me just pause real quick there, because
Yeah.
on that halftime play sequence, you guys called timeout when it looked like Jalen Hurts and them were in complete disarray. That was the 3rd down before that 4th down. Do you have any kind of reasoning why he would do something like that, Dable?
I have to think that he was unaware of them
just not being prepared.
I mean, again, there's no. I wish I could give you a logical reason.
Yeah.
And maybe that is something, we're recording this, right after the game. So maybe that's something that Dable does answer in his post-game press conference. But it's almost as if there was full focus on the defense, and maybe he didn't like the personnel or the way that things lined up, and just wanted to call the timeout. But it's as if he didn't realize that, it was going to be a delay game on the Eagles.
I mean, exactly. He kind of bailed them out, but, it ended up not mattering as much because they still couldn't seem to get their stuff together.
But if the Eagles did tie it up, that would have been scrutinized.
Absolutely. So anyway, go ahead. So halftime now, we're going into the third quarter now.
Yeah, going to third quarter, and it's like, okay, surprising the Giants are up, but you're not actually thinking that they're going to win the game. It's a 3-point game, and then the Giants actually go 3 and out of the half. So even furthermore, okay, Eagles have the ball, they're down 3, and again. Really the big fuck up. And the Eagles never really recovered from it. Not to say they were playing, they were not playing well all night. You have an easy 89-yard touchdown bomb from Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith that Hurts overthrows.
Yep.
That would have given wide open.
I have Devontae Smith in fantasy. I was still a little heartbroken.
Oh, no. That's tough. Yeah. No, I mean,
it happens to everybody,
But yeah, that's a 16. Hey, that's for 1 point PPR. That's
a huge swing right there. Yeah.
So a misconnection there, and then the Giants get a touchdown on the next drive, and this was. Okay, no, I'm jumping the gun in my mind. John Michael Schmitz gets injured during this drive, ended up being, I think, in concussion protocol, and Austin Schlottman took over at center. Seemed like he did a decent job, but that's here nor there. Look, I mean, just a lot of good stuff on the ground for the Giants, and just great with 3rd down conversions. Some illegal contact stuff from the Eagles and the secondary. And it ends up in a Cam Skattebo 1-yard touchdown run, where originally it was called incorrectly that his forward progress was stopped, but replay assist showed definite touchdown, and the Giants at that point take a 10-point lead. From there, the Eagles their drive ends pretty quickly off of a Brian Burns sack, and Burns has really been really, really good in his second year with the Giants, making a big impact. The Giants get the ball back. And I think this is the drive where Jackson Dart, I think, gets hurt. Yeah. Dart gets hurt. It looked pretty bad. It looked like one of those things where it was a concussion bad enough to me where it's like, all right, he's going to be out for the game. And it's just a kind of a funny sequence. Russell Wilson comes in, and the one pass he made looked horrible. I mean, Jameis Winston's got to be better than Russell Wilson.
I know. What are we doing? I mean, I feel bad for free Jameis, man. Free Jameis at this point.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, Russell, I mean, they're booing him. It's a joke.
Yeah, jeez.
Sierra must not be
Poor
thrilled,
Russ,
but, yeah. But Dart was out of concussion protocol really quickly. You had Dayball going in the blue tent, Skattebo, it was a whole sort of crazy sequence. And then I'm not sure if you saw, after Dart gets out, Dayball hits Dart in the head.
I saw that.
What the fuck?
He's like, you're tough enough. Yeah.
It's crazy. His relationship with Dart is so much different than Daniel Jones. Now, I mean, look, Dayball inherited Daniel Jones, right? It's a completely, at that point, Daniel Jones had already been in the league for 3 years. It was his 4th season for Daboll's first with the Giants, so it was different. But like, he really he loves Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
Dable.
I guess like you said, he handpicked him. And
yeah.
I guess after all that stuff with Shadur and that whole circus, he clicked with this guy, and yeah, man, it's been great.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Daboll's one and biggest chance to save his job.
Yeah,
it's in the shoulders of Jackson Dart. So we go to the fourth quarter, still a 10-point game after the Russell Wilson debauchery, but Giant defense just does a good job. I mean, Eagles really they were making dumb mistakes. I mean, some bad penalties by the Eagles at points. Special teams wasn't very good, where the Eagles had really bad starting field position in many cases. But there is one sort of not even last gasp hope, but like the Eagles had their shot. They had their shot. There's still 11, 12 minutes left in the game, down by 10. And the play before the flat interception, they picked up a flag on Paulson Adebo, which I think should have stood. They called it incidental contact with A.J. Brown. To me, I thought that was a penalty. And then that would have put it probably first and goal. It would have been first and goal. Next play, Cordell Flott jumps in front of Jahan Dotson and takes it back 68 yards to the Eagle 23. Saquon is able to track him down. But good for Cordell Flott. We did not see Deonte Banks. And what do you know? It was better. I mean, Deonte Banks should not, as long as Paulson Adebo and Cordell Flott are healthy, Deonte Banks should not see the field on defense. And so good on Cordell Flott. When the Giants have won their 2 games, part of that reason is some big interceptions.
Yeah.
And turnover, the turnovers, which the Giants have lacked big time in recent years. They get it here, and then they finish it off there with another Cam Skattebo touchdown. And there might have been a somewhat questionable defensive pass interference call in the end zone that Jalen Hyatt drew.
Yeah.
By the letter of the law, he did have his arm.
He did have his arm, he couldn't let it. He was preventing his arm from going up, technically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I feel like, that happens a lot. I feel like that's one of those
plays. Very
ticky-tack.
And that taunt from Skattebo, that also was very ticky-tack too. There was there was a couple weird calls like that, I noticed.
The officials really, it was quiet. I mean, they didn't really get in the way much.
Not too bad.
First half, there weren't many penalties, but then towards the end a little bit.
Yeah.
But 34-17. And then later on, it was that fumble that I talked about where A.J. Dillon trying to get some extra yards. Dane Belton punches it out, recovered by Drew Phillips. And the Eagles never saw the ball again. It was, again, and like you said, Casey, you had that last drive where Skattebo gets the taunting penalty.
Yeah.
But just Giants win. Very impressive, strong second half. 34-17 win. Again, for me, candidly, it is frustrating that the Giants let some other games slip. I mean, the Dallas Cowboy game, that was a massive loss.
Yeah.
And the New Orleans Saints, look, that.
Yeah, he really should be 3-0, Jackson Dart,
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And look, and were you maybe given, not a gift, but look, the Charger game, could you have lost that? Sure. You certainly could have. But Jackson Dart could be 3-0.
Yeah.
Who would have thought who would have thought, Casey, if I told you, okay, Jackson Dart's first 2 starts as Chargers, Saints, and Eagles. He goes 2-1 with the one loss being to the Saints.
Right, yeah.
Like you said, football. It's crazy.
Exactly. That's why we keep watching, even though we have our thoughts on how things are going to go, but something always is some kind of wild card in there that always shakes it up. So crazy, man. But proud for the Gmen. Go Gmen. It was very, very sweet to see. I mean, my boy Skattebo, I had a feeling about him in the beginning of this preseason and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool seeing him kind of blossom here. It's pretty sweet. So glad for him. And I have him on a couple fantasy teams, not going to lie. So that 30 burger was pretty sweet tonight. I'm feeling pretty good going into these Sunday games. So man, you got some stuff to be excited about. I mean, now the Giants are 2-4. I mean, obviously there's plenty of football to go. But so, in terms of we got Denver coming up in 10 days, right? So I guess we'll see how the Jets, funny enough, how Denver looks against the Jets, which I'm sure they'll probably kick ass, but you never know. Do you see an avenue for this team at all? I mean, now with this win, I mean, I know it's kind of, you're just hoping for the best here. But
yeah, I mean, so a couple things. I'm still like the Malik Neighbors injury to me. It's still glaring and hurts so much. Like it takes a lot of my enthusiasm out as far as a real path forward this season. Now, the interesting thing with the Denver matchup is playing at Denver in general. That's a tough place to play with a pretty very solid Denver Bronco team, right? Like they made the playoffs last year. There's something going on there. It seems like. I guess the interesting thing though is you have the Giants coming off of like you said, sort of a 10-day layoff, if you will.
Mini bye, they call it sometimes, Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas Denver on the flip side is coming off of a London game themselves.
Right.
And so one would think that would give the Giants as much of an advantage as it could possibly have
for being the away team.
Given the circumstances.
Yep.
That said, like, look, I don't, and look, not that I believe in the home road stuff for the Giants. If anything, like in recent years, they've been terrible at MetLife. This year, they have been 2-1 at home, 0-3 on the road. So that could continue, right? As far as they haven't really shown much road success this year. I know it's a short sample, but yeah, man, I don't know. As far as like there's some good things.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like you have to acknowledge that, and again, like obviously in the case of really Dart, Skattebo, I think the offensive line with Andrew Thomas back has done a really nice job. So there's some things to hang your hat on, but I'm not like a believer in this team really going anywhere this year.
Yeah.
Now, hey, they go to Denver, win that game, then we're talking about a little bit something different.
Right.
I don't foresee that happening. Look, man, next 2 games at Denver, at the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty tough. I mean, are the Giants realistically going to beat the Eagles 2 out of 3 weeks? I have a hard time. I can't see it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough. I guess, at this point, like you said, you just take it one game at a time, see what happens. You never know with Denver. And then if somehow you pull that out, then, like you said, you reevaluate then. But a lot of great signs. I mean, look, as a Jet fan, I think I would much rather be in your position than mine. So at least in terms of a future, it seems pretty bright. Hanging 34 on the Eagles is always pretty damn sweet. And obviously with the whole situation with Saquon, him coming back and everything that happened last year. I mean, this was a good Giants lore type of victory, just with all the circumstances there.
Yeah, definitely. If you can take like if you can certainly, if you want to go like half glass half full.
Yeah.
You can certainly talk yourself into just some things, right? Like just taking aside the record, taking aside the regime.
Yeah.
There are some good things there, right? Like I'm not going to come on here and just be like, oh my God, like Giants are the best thing ever. What an amazing win. I just don't feel
like ESPN, right? Yeah.
Super Bowl here we come. Like, no, it's not like that at all. But nonetheless, like the fact that they did that in convincing fashion and really just dominated the second half, I think it speaks to some Eagles stuff. It does. Like there's something wrong over there right now.
That'll be the talk on ESPN tomorrow. It's going to be all about that, It's
going to be all about the Eagles. It won't be about the Giants. And look, and I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if they can, turn these games and hey, the Giants haven't won. I might have brought this up last episode. The Giants have not won back-to-back games since the Tommy DeVito run a couple years ago.
Wow.
So that's where it's like, it's hard for you to really be like, all right, I'm on the train. Like, let's go, because we haven't even won 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I got
in nearly like 2 seasons.
Yeah, we'll see. So one game at a time. At least, like you said, the mini bye's coming up, so we'll see. How the Giants respond now after a big victory. Now people are going to have some expectations. So let's go and Skattebo. Let's go. Plow through, get some more touchdowns or whatever. Man, that'd be pretty.
He's fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. But I guess we'll leave it there. We figured we would do this obviously tonight because of obviously the Giants playing tonight. Jets will be on 9:30 Eastern, London game against Denver. So we will probably do some type of episode or a short TBD, but we'll make sure to keep you guys posted. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. Like always, like and subscribe. We have about 1,045 followers last time I checked, which is really awesome. So please, we're loving doing this, and loving that you guys are subscribing and tuning into us. Derek has got a Rangers episode to record right after this, and obviously he's going to be doing that all season long and breaking down every single Ranger game, so make sure to tune into that if you're a big Rangers fan. Unfortunately, no more Yankee analysis because they had one of the more disappointing showings, but it wouldn't be a Yankee postseason exit without some, epic disappointment of a elimination game. But anyway, we won't get into that now because we'll be here for another 30 minutes. But anyway, guys, thanks so much.